Well, welcome back. This is episode 2 of your weekly Chime In. Today, we're going to interview Adam Frank, who's not only a Chime member in the Chime community, he's also doing really good stuff on the back end of Chime. And that's what we want to share with you. My co-hosts, Brett Baker, badass extraordinaire, Randy Carroll. He's like the go-to for everything Chime. Anytime you have any questions or difficulties, just text him, message him, blow up his phone.
I do my best. I'm actually very bad at texting, but I try.
Yeah. I noticed that like 10 hours later, it was like, oh, that's right. Tristan
texter, I know.
All right. Well, let's get this party started. Adam, can you do a quick intro as to who you are, where you're located, and how long you've been with Chime?
Yeah, so I am an agent and I've been around in real estate for about 2.5 years, a little over 2.5 years. I've been with Chime since October of 2019, and I found them at my firm's convention out in Vegas, and that's when I met Mike and some of the salespeople there, and I've been with them pretty much. I was using so my firm provides KV Core as a CRM, and I used it the first 16 months I was in real estate, and then I found Chime. And I've been with them ever since, and I'm never going back. It just simply, I was pretty hard as some of the salespeople there at the convention that met me initially. I was pretty hard on them as far as what Chime actually had for capabilities, and I kind of listened to them for about 15-20 minutes, and I couldn't get my credit card out fast enough. So it was pretty much one of like I just wanted to hit the pain points, and the way that the system was that. Easily 40% of the frustrations that I had with my other system, totally taken care of in Chime and then some. So it was a no-brainer that Chime is where I needed to be for my business.
I think you just made Randy happy.
Yeah, he's heard this before, but one of my when I'm talking to people about Chime and about joining Chime, they ask me about, okay, like what systems have you used? Like, yeah, I've used about 4 different systems, and they're like, would you ever go back to them? And I said no. I said I think it would be professionally irresponsible of me to use any other CRM platform for my business other than Chime. Straight up, I'll say it in front of people. I'll say it behind people. If Chime goes away, I'm out of real estate. I'm going to go flip burgers or something.
Well, at least you have a customer in Randy.
I was going to say you'd have a customer. Randy would be all over that.
Right.
I'm in. Adam Franks.
You know what, Randy? I don't know. We want to, let's just skip that conversation. Adam, so tell us why you love Chime so much. What's on the back end? Because I want to see this and how you use it. Right? That's the key.
So, sure. The pardon the cough. I'm on vacation in southern Alabama for 2 months or whatever. So I'm getting a little bit used to the humidity and stuff. But the AI assistant, and I posted a few screenshots in the group and stuff like that, but I named my assistant Eve, kind of hoping that people pick up on the Adam and Eve reference, so kind of getting some humanization in there and stuff. And actually somebody that called me on Saturday actually was trying to talk to the basically, I'm looking for Eve. Well, she's out of the office right now. What can I do for you? And she's like, oh no, that's all right. I'll just excuse me. I'll just text Eve. So she literally, the AI assistant made her believe that the AI assistant was an actual real life person that she could just call and talk to Eve. So
I love that. Can we pause on that really quick? Because it's a question that Brett and I get all the time. Like, what do you name your assistant? So we know why you named it. I think that's brilliant. Brett, what did you go? What route did you go on the name?
So it's funny because I've been doing the whole naming it a real life person name for a very, very long time. Back before Chime, before any of this, way back when, I created an assistant named Riley, and Riley was my go-to assistant. Now it's Anna. Anna is my Chime assistant. I went on and I found a stock photo. I went as far as a stock photo to actually get this done right. So on my team member page on Chime, for example, it will show a picture of my assistant.
It's actually brilliant because there's an Instagram page that a group of people created where you follow an artificial, it's not a real person, right?
Right.
They've created an avatar for this person and she's got like 3 million followers. So, and everybody knows she's fake, but they follow her. So Randy, what have you seen that has been working out there for people?
I see a lot of agents name their AI assistants names that are generally thought of as gender neutral, like Taylor or Austin, something to that effect. So there isn't any like presumption there. The biggest mistake I see agents make is naming their AI assistant after themselves.
Yeah.
The agents who name the AI assistant their own name end up causing a lot of confusion with the lead, because the AI assistant is going to try to hand that lead off, or you have to step in through a different number, and it can appear very confusing. So definitely an easy mistake to fall into, but something you want to avoid is do not name the AI assistant after yourself.
Yeah.
Really, really good point. Adam, well, let's take a look at some of the things that you're doing on the back end. Where do you want to start? Where do you want to take us?
Let me see if I can share my screen here and I'll show you what it looks like here. So from the dashboard, yeah, and like I said, I kind of spent some time on my assistant, and I definitely put some heart and soul into her, and you can see her picture right here. So I did take a stock photo. I think just very, very professionally and neutrally, like she is attractive. She's not like, she's not somebody that you wouldn't want to look at, basically.
Yep.
And has a smile. It looks, looks like it fits the role. It's gonna be approached. It seems to be very approachable from a lot of different perspectives. So I just kind of like covered my bases and everything. But the assistant thing, so I did, obviously I named her Eve. She's got her own virtual number. And then the call forwarding I turned on so that it's set up to forward to the assigned agent. And if not, then it goes over to my number, is basically my Chime number.
So can you explain that really quick so that people that are listening in can understand what the process is there? So where did you get the stock photo?
Stock photo, I believe I went to Unsplash, which is unsplash.com.
Okay.
And it's a royalty-free photo. And I just looked for, did a search for a professional woman.
Cool.
And a bunch came up, and this was the one that I selected.
And what about the number, virtual number? If people call in that number, what happens?
So this number here is the number that the assistant uses to text the leads for follow-up.
Got it.
And if the way I have this set for call forwarding, hover over it, is if a lead calls basically this virtual number, tries to talk to Eve, that's gonna forward the call to the assigned agent's number, the bridge number, their cell number, which in this case is me, because it was my lead. In the case that, let's say it's an agent on my account, if they don't answer, then it comes over to my line, to my number. So that basically it goes somewhere, because obviously with the assistant, it's virtual, it's a chat bot. There is no live person on there. So that Chime was forward thinking that, hey, what if these people start calling and there's no voice on the other end? So they already were ahead of things and put this feature in so that basically if the bot gets a phone call from a lead, it goes to an agent and not just a dead end busy tone.
So do people ask for Eve sometimes? Or
yeah, I had one most recent one was on this past Saturday, where somebody called up and was like, oh yeah, I'm just looking for Eve, and oh well, she's out of the office right now. I'm Adam, I'm a real estate agent. What can I do to help you? And I said, well, I just had a few questions or whatever. Let's go ahead and text Eve. And like click, like she actually hung up thinking like she wanted nothing to do with me, because she had been followed up with Eve and wanted to talk with Eve, which is like, hey, whatever, like as long as you don't run away, we're good. So
what about you, Brett? Is it Anna? Did you guys end up with Anna?
Anna, yep.
What do you guys get calls on Anna or?
All the time. And it really what ends up happening is when they reach out asking for Anna, you got our assistant. That's how it always plays out. It looks like my assistant reached out to you, or oh yeah, she's my assistant. How can I help you?
Okay, makes sense. Okay, Adam, With Eve, when is she popping up? Because I see that it's for the AI. When does the AI pop up, and why would people be engaging with her? How do you use that?
So I have this basically, this is my front line. I typically do not use smart plans to engage new leads. That's what Eve is for. So I leverage Eve as essentially an ISA so that when leads come in, Eve is she's on the ball. And with my settings here, so I basically set it for the welcome message. The initial engagement is a 15-second delay. I want it to be a little bit faster. Like the default is 30. I want it to be a little bit faster than that. And I've started at 15 just to try it. And I don't really see any reason why, at least for my business, why I should change it to anything other than 15 seconds.
Brett,
I do have active hours to basically be everything, because it's that whole speed to lead thing. If they're cruising on my website or sign up on a Facebook ad or Google ad at 2 in the morning, guess what? They're awake. I want them to be engaged. So
okay.
If they don't want to talk at 2 in the morning, don't be on my website at 2 in the morning.
Mine's set at 45 seconds, Tristan, to answer your question.
Okay, good. That's a good balance, man. Well, look, it's under a minute. It makes a lot of sense.
Yep.
I like a little bit of a delay to make it look human.
Yeah, I've been kind of trying to play around with that a little bit, and most of what I find is that when the assistant engages leads, it's about a 15 or 20-minute conversation in real time, and I have the information. They're basically either qualified or called, and that's it. So I was thinking about maybe trying it at like 30 seconds, trying it at 45, trying at 60, but right now at 15, it seems to work okay for my results. So.
All right. So continue here, because I see it says enable the AI assistant for live chat, AI assistant for new lead, AI assistant for existing lead. What's up with all of that?
Yeah. So let me pop open my website here. So basically with this website chat one, it's going to, Eva's right down here. And then basically after 15 seconds, she's going to pop up and try to engage with the website visitor that's not registered, and try and basically get them to respond and fill out the profile, essentially convert them into a lead in the CRM and set them up on search alerts. So like that's why I have that set. And actually got somebody calling in right now, actually.
We just cost you like a $15,000 check. Sorry.
But so I have that set up, and I only have a few. So I have a team account with a few different agents, and there's only a few that want the assistant on their site.
And why would somebody not want it?
So like this one right here, this I'm using for agent attraction. So this is basically, I'm just using like a seat on my account as kind of like a dummy. So when I look to grow my team, I'm using this account as a subdomain. So there's really, it's not for actual real estate leads. It's for team leads for my business. This person here is using it. This person is actually transitioning off of my account into somebody else. So I have them shut down. And then this person here does a lot of stuff on Facebook and Instagram and doesn't really get a lot of internet leads. So they don't really want their, they do a lot of their follow-up manually for their process. So they didn't want the assistant on there, which is no big deal. If I'm pretty flexible, so if an agent doesn't want it, I can turn it off and they can do their own thing for follow-up. That's their whole thing. And then the lead source. So this is one thing I kind of want to cover here. If I know some people, they get, we get leads from all sorts of different sources, and I'm getting FSBO and expired leads from MyPlus leads. And what I learned when, thankfully through the free 30-day trial of the assistant first, what I learned is that the assistant is programmed to deal with seller leads a certain way on the initial engagement attempt, and that it's really not going to deviate from that, even though it is a learning bot. And it's one of those things where I see the benefit of how and why it does that. So instead of trying to, force the bot into learning my, very niche way of doing things, I just turn that source off, and I'm going to deal with those leads with a smart plan instead. So what I do is I basically have these turned off for certain lead sources. So MyPlus leads. So anything FSBO and expired, that's a new lead, the assistant does not engage them, because how the assistant does it is it communicates as if they filled out a home valuation request, which they actually really didn't. So the follow-up initiates with the lead being an irrelevant conversation, and I don't want that. So
Right.
it's not a knock against the assistant, because nothing is going to be perfect. It's just I had to change my follow-up approach to accommodate the best practices of the assistant.
So you have a more generic approach to those, because you're saying you're getting them from My Plus leads?
Yeah, so what I'm doing, I have a smart plan that is based off the training that I received from Brett, and that is more effective for that purpose because it's such a niche, and that's not exactly what the assistant is really programmed for.
Okay.
So again, it's one of those things where I just had to deviate slightly for my follow-up process, and it's just you got to make some changes. You got to roll with things, and I never lost any sleep over it. So
okay, there's a quick question for any of you who want to take this one by Monique. Can we set lead routing to team members to start after AI has engaged with the lead?
Adam, you want to take it, or do you want me to take it?
I was just saying that's probably a you one, because yeah, I can see a few different things here, but go ahead.
No, is the short answer to that. Because the way that Chime's lead routing works, it will assign before the AI kicks in. Now you can do that manually after the fact, and you can also use smart plans to assign based on that as well. The short answer is no. There, you might have a quick around that.
Yeah, I can. One of the things I was going to get into with smart plans is kind of how to move things with automation, because that's another thing. Basically, the two main features that I really like about Chime, and that really really impressed me about Chime, is not only the assistant, but the control and the automation capacity and capabilities with the smart plans themselves. It's really awesome. So I definitely have some fun with it.
This is key to really this next level type of agent or agency or brokerage to be able to scale without having to spend so much on the back end. I don't think we talk about that enough, right?
Yeah, and I've got 98%. I posted it in the group before answering questions, but 98% of my lead follow-up and moving between pipelines and groups, 98% of the back end of my CRM is automated. I don't have to do anything except for worry about people in 3 pipelines and answer live communication. Other than that, Chime takes care of everything. I can focus on many more important things in my business. And I could not do that with any other system. I can only do that in Chime.
That's because you have the AI with the smart plans. That's the combo, dude. You can't, I don't know anybody else who has that. So this is set. Now let's go into the second part of what you wanted to show us, and that's the smart plans.
Mm-hmm.
I want to see how you have that set up so that we can cover some of that before we run out of time.
You bet. So I have a slightly unique setup to my account. So I have the team platform, and I have agents in my firm that are not on my team, but are basically keeping a seat so that they can use Chime. And I provide them with training. I provide them with some of the smart plans that work and kind of help them out with things. So we're not a traditional team in that sense. So the way I have my smart plans set up between the team library and my own library are a little bit different. And you're going to see some things that are turned off in this auto application field or column. And the reason for that is I'm allowing them. So I have some plans that
you're subleasing.
Yeah, I have plans that work.
Brett, hold on. Brett, Randy, what the hell? Did you ever think of that? I just got an idea. I'm like, shit, subleasing. I never thought of that.
Yeah, I got some agents that are basically renting a spot for me, so that they're kind of agents that aren't at that point yet. So to be able to afford Chime on their own.
Brett, do you teach this in your courses?
So I'm
gonna add this to it.
So I'm
I got the idea for you.
I'm a guest speaker in this. Adam, you're in.
Yeah, I'm basically renting seats to help them get a better system. I'm training them how to use it. I'm paying for the bot for the entire platform for everybody that wants it. And I'm basically grooming them to fall in love with Chime, and then helping them work Chime so they can grow their business and eventually get their own Chime account and then help grow basically everybody. So
Adam, I'm
I
taking
win,
notes
they win,
now.
Chime wins. That's my situation. So
Now
a
I'm
little
taking
unique.
notes.
Is
I've
Court
been, yeah,
Prince
I've
on
been
this call?
doing that for quite a while. So, but anyways, so I got my the team smart plans here, and the ones I have, and I have some that are set and turned on from the team aspect, that it's basically kind of like a look, this is just the way it's going to be. And so everything that I have in here is, I have the AI assistant based smart plans, so that depending on the follow-up with the assistant and how it tags the leads, it's going to trigger this smart plan. Okay, and this is global for everybody on the team, so that you can see all the ones that I have turned on. And then I also have temperature, what I call temperature smart plans. So I've got hot, warm, and cold. Those are my 30, 60, and 90 day, and they're based off of Brett's organization and follow-up plan. So my hot category is every 7 days, it's a manual task that says, hey, knucklehead, check on your lead. And after 30 days of being on that plan, or any of the temperature plans, Chime automatically moves them to the next coldest pipeline if there's basically no action to move forward. So what that looks like is this on the end. When this plan ends, automatically move pipeline warm 60. So on, real quick in here, the new leads come in. If they respond to a smart plan or manual communication of any kind other than the assistant, they go to contacted, responded, and that's, I basically look in here, I look at the communication, I deal with them, move them wherever they need to be, and then if they respond and let me know essentially what temperature they're in, they're either 1, 2, 3, or beyond 3 months out. There's a smart plan for them. So this is once a week check-in for 30 days. This is every 14-day check-in for 30 days. This is a 28-day email. And then, so this is where automation begins. And then the not ready is a once a month email. When they're done with the once a month email, they get sent over to my, where is it down here? There's my retarget not ready, which is kind of a good cop, bad cop. And it's kind of like a different conversation. The not ready campaign for buyer and seller is all education.
The good cop, bad cop, is it like, hey, how are you today? Did you enjoy the homes I'm sending you? And then the next one is like, hey, you better buy right now, damn it. What does that, what does that look like? Good cop, bad cop.
Like pretty much, it's kind of one of it's kind of one of those, like, okay, well, I've been talking to you for a year. Are you still interested? Are you ready? And then, oh, here's, you know, next month is like, hey, here's something that I may have missed telling you. And then the next month is, okay, so we're a year on, you told me 6 months. Is this going to be a year and 6 months? Or like, it's kind of like that, where it's, and all I'm doing, I'm trying to provoke a response. I don't really care at this point whether they actually are ready to rock and roll or not. I'm poking and prodding them, because at this point, I haven't heard from them. I haven't heard a response in a year.
That makes sense.
So it's kind of like, all right, man, like what's up? Like, if you don't want to work with me, fine. I will delete you, or I will refer you to, you know, I'll sell you to a $1 a lead in batches of 100 to a new agent, and let them get some experience with rejection and stuff like that if I want to. Like, I don't care at that point, right? It's not about rescuing anybody. It's about, hey, what's up? Like, if I can pull somebody from, you know, a year or two back in the, you know, in the past, and get them to respond and help them out, I will. But I'm not losing any sleep for everybody.
Yeah.
You know. So then I have all those, and the team plans here. Like, this is one here that I turned off because I'm using the bot for engagement on Facebook leads right now. So it's a text only Facebook buyer campaign, and this one right here is my #1 template that got out. So this is the third message in this campaign. Of the people that responded to this campaign, which is basically, it's set to be about an hour into the campaign, 67% of all responses happened after this template. So of everybody that responded on this plan, 67% were basically within the hour and they responded to this template here.
Wow.
So, and then this goes for a little bit, and all of my plans, I have what I call a cascading follow-up. So my workflow process is the AI assistant engages new leads.
Mm-hmm.
Depending on the result there, they're tagged appropriately, like, you know, seller no response, buyer no response, buyer just looking. That triggers one of these team plans. So buyer, you know, has an agent. Okay, well, that's going to run for 25 days. And then when that one ends, it's going to go to my not ready category because they haven't responded. They haven't done anything.
Dude.
And then that's going to go to my retarget not ready category. So everything, it's basically the assistant is going to engage. Depending on that process, the AI assistant smart plan is going to follow up as an in-between, as kind of is what I call bridge nurturing. And then after that, it's going to be on the low, basically a barbecue follow-up, low and slow.
Ooh, barbecue follow-up. I never heard of that.
Yeah, I use that. Yeah, I use that quite a bit. Barbecue.
Brett, hold on. Brett,
have you heard of that? Man, hit them low and slow.
Have you heard of that before, Brett or Randy?
Nope, that's new to me.
I love Adam. I'm learning some good stuff.
Randy's from Atlanta, man. He should know the barbecue method.
Barbecue. That's right.
It's all about the barbecue follow-up, man. If they're getting slow, just slow cook them, low temperature, help and don't sell. It's the barbecue follow-up. So
fall right off the bone, right into your lap.
Exactly. So then what I have for mine is I have in my libraries, I basically took the team smart plans that I put in there, and I basically tweak them to my voice, which is the best. Like the best campaign is going to sound like you. You know, Chime campaigns by and large are way better than some of the other campaigns I've seen in other systems. But the best thing to do is to make them sound like you. You know, like the whole purpose of a drip campaign is to get a response. The best response is to have the authenticity and humanization of your voice, because you want them to get to know you, like you, and trust you, not somebody else, not some, you know, ghostwriter from wherever, right? They have to be like you because this is the people business. They're going to, you know, have a connection with you.
Adam?
So
Randy has a question for you, dude.
I have a question for you, Adam. One of the common questions I get from folks about the AI assistant is about when to implement it. Like, the common question is, how many leads per month should I be generating before I get the AI assistant? Do you have any context or recommendations?
Yeah. So what I do is, so I've got the premium. I think it's like $99 a month, and I have an allotment of $150 a month. From what I understand in Chime is that Chime counts an engagement as being a lead response. So this is basically saying that all of a sudden, or up to this point in January, six new leads have engaged.
Yep.
Right. I got a lot of room here, and when I ramp up, I'm gonna next month I'm gonna ramp up my marketing. So a lot of this is probably going to get chewed up. So with the 30-day trial, what I recommend is go with the premium. You're going to get 150 engagements for 30 days, basically. And I believe, Randy, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think during the trial, that might have been just like an unlimited engagement for 30 days. I'm not sure, but I thought I read or heard that somewhere. But
that's what
I think most people are going to be hard pressed to get 150 the first month of doing that unless they have a lot of, I mean, you're looking, run the math, 150 divided by 30, and that's engagement. That's not lead generated. That's not leads reached out to. Right. That's people actually responded, which I think is really smart on Chime. So thumbs up. Thank you for that. So what I recommend is just get the premium to try, set everything up, humanize it. I mean, actually pretend like you're paying $100 a month for this thing and really nurture this thing like a newborn baby. Okay. See how it engages, follow up. One thing that, that Brett taught me is, so I have text templates. I have some for the team and I have some for myself. And again, I kind of tweak it to my branding and my voice. So the assistant is never going to be perfect, and don't expect it to be perfect. If you want it to be perfect, you're in the wrong line of business. I have two templates that I use to step in, either if I need to like jump in just as a natural course, which is my AI handoff template. And I have one that I call my AI handoff oops. So what I did was I created a template, and it's literally a template here. I have to finish this up. So it's basically introducing me, looks like my assistant Eve, blah, 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 all this other stuff, kind of explained away some things. And then, okay, so I see you were insert. Okay, so I'm looking at the timeline of the lead and what they were talking about. So if the bot screws up or doesn't understand something, like you'll get those text messages from Chime on your phone that says, John Davis sent a text that the AI assistant cannot understand. It will give you the text. Okay, jump in here, take over manually, and I use this handoff oops to basically explain, hey, you know what, things are a little weird, but you're going to work with me now. And then I see that you were insert scenario. So, oh, you were looking to move in the next year, looking to do whatever, but be relevant so you can pick up the conversation. And that's the oops one. The handoff, the normal one is this with basically, essentially, hey, you talked to Eve, I'm Adam. She left a note here. I'm supposed to help you with blah, blah, blah. And
hey,
just having, these are really critical.
Note.
Yep, see?
I love it.
I told you I got that from you. So
hey,
yeah, like those things, and just create, you can search in the group for Brett's templates there. Like I said, those are basically them. I just, change it with my branding and stuff and my name. And I created them so that when I have to step in and I have to go to like this person here, I think, yeah, so this is one that I muted, and this is, see here. Yep, so right here is where I used one. This is my handoff one. So it left me a Bright Pink Post-it note here to reach out to help. She's moving to De Pere. She's in California. She's in the theater industry. She's moving to De Pere. She wants to be with family. So we had this huge conversation. This is all her and the bot talking. Nice. And this is my step in, and then this is my follow-up. Now she's talking about all this different stuff. She's got this and that, the other thing, built in this whole conversation about moving to Wisconsin.
Yeah.
Okay, it's all based off of Eve engaged very well, 20-minute back and forth with the lead, well qualified, got a whole bunch of information about her that I never would have gotten with a smart plan, which is key. This conversational marketing with the assistant, everybody needs to pay attention to this. Even if you don't think the assistant is going to help you with your business, try it for 30 days, see if it works. If it doesn't, thank you for trying. If it does work, don't tell me I told you. I'm not going to say I told you so. I'm going to say, great, focus in on that and grow your business with it. It's definitely changed the way I follow up with leads.
I love that.
I never could have gotten this done with a smart plan.
I got something for you, and Randy is probably going to reach over and actually punch me right now. Yeah, look, he's covering my screen. So if you didn't know, Randy and I are literally sitting next to each other. But he's probably going to punch me right now because I overheard something at lunch, and I'm going to probably get in trouble for this. So I'm going to get it out fast.
I rebuke violence.
Chime is going to make it now so you can put in your own script for the bot, which is I hate. But it is coming. Yeah, that is very, very soon on the radar, and I got to see it a little bit in action today. And of course, we all know that it's a learning bot, so it's to implement which is going to be the best fit for the lead. So it's still using AI, but it's going to identify what the best leads, the best script for that lead is. So that's coming apparently very, very soon. So nice. We'll see how that goes. But anyways, I want to drop that in there.
Adam, look, we're over our time. People are still loving it. They're still.
Yeah, on. I just realized that. Sorry, I got long-winded there.
No. It was good.
I get all jacked up about this back end and Chime. I get all nerdy and shit about it.
I think we need a part 2 to this, where we go into your smart plans and you show us how they look from your buyers. So how the AI engages with your buyers and what happens with the smart plans, what happens if they don't respond after that, and how long it goes on after that. I'd like to see that whole process. What do you guys think?
Yeah, and this right here is one I'm working on. I didn't get it set up beforehand. I just got to tweak it a little bit for the triggers, but this is one. So this is a supplemental. It's a one-step. I have a lot of one-step things for moving between pipelines and groups. So this one here is basically if they're on. It's gonna check the lead profile 30 days after registration to see if they have a property alert or not. And because 90%, 85 to 90% of my leads have a phone number, which is usually a cell number, I'm using, this is what I call a split step. They're conditional questions. I call these a split step because it's split in half, it's bifurcated. So if they have 30 days, there's going to be a check for buyers. If they have a property alert, I'm basically going to check in to make sure that I have the right criteria and that their frequency is accurate for what they want. If they don't have it set up, I'm going to basically try and poke them a little bit to say, hey, like, I want to help you get set up on this property search. What are you looking for?
Makes sense. I like it, dude.
I
Well,
love
I'd like
this.
to go into that a little deeper next time, and maybe we can start with the difference, kind of like what we did with Brett, difference between groups, right?
Yep.
Mhm.
And what everything else looks like, because I think there's some confusion with some agents out there.
I think we need to bring Adam back in and do another one of these. I know we have a couple more ahead of Adam at this point, but I think
Yeah.
we should bring Adam back in and do another one of these with him.
Let's do that.
Because
Adam,
there's Adam, dude, you dive so deep into this stuff. It's always fun. I like having conversations with Adam outside of the group because it's he and I can get a little crazy with these things.
Yeah.
I've seen some
really
of those,
fun.
and I'm like, I'm out, guys. Thanks.
Yeah, because I like right here, like I got my not ready, and then I broke down my not ready into applicable timings. So I've got basically the first year broken up into quarters between pipelines and groups. Here's my first quarter, 3 months. I got second quarter, third quarter, fourth quarter. And then if they're not in any of these pipelines or any of these 3 groups, and they're in my not ready, that means they're beyond a year. So I can just glance like this, and I know I got my fingers on the pulse of my CRM and my database all the time.
You know where to
I
start.
never question what is going on in my business because I have it right in front of me every day.
So sick. I love that. Well, Adam, that's where we'll leave it off. Brett, anything
bet.
else you want to add, buddy?
No, I think that Adam, you pretty well covered it, man. That was awesome.
Thank you.
Randy already left us.
See you,
Yeah, I
Randy.
see that.
Adam,
He's sick of listening to me.
thanks for being on, buddy. This is recorded. It'll live in our Chime group that we manage. We're all moderators there. So we'll see you next week. Adam, we'll do a part 2 and a part 3 and 4 and 5 probably. So get ready.
All right, man. I got the time, so you just let me know.
Take care, guys.
Well, everything's automated. Of course you've got the
Yeah,
freaking
right?
time.
98%, baby. I'm gonna get that tattooed. See you guys.
You guys take care.